Okay. Um, okay, we'll start in a minute. However, did you guys try to get your personal development instance?
Yes, I have taken it.
Okay. How about you, Sagar?
Sorry.
I'm asking to the Sagar if he also,
Okay.
got it.
Mhm.
If there is any issue, I mean, do let me know. I can help.
Yes, I just clicked on a request instance and
Uh-huh.
I just able to see the home page now, but
Okay.
I don't know what to do next. So I'm waiting for this today's session to see.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Did you get an option to choose the release? Like,
Yes, I
okay.
mean, so
Okay.
they have. I can able to see there. It is written content available for Tokyo.
Tokyo, no? That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Chandrashekhar,
Mhm.
sir, actually, uh, the latest release is Uta, right?
Yeah, this is just release, but for the
Hmm.
testing purpose.
It is has been used. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You able to get to this page?
Which one?
This screen you able to see on your instance?
I'm able to see your files, this PC folder.
Oh, let me stop sharing. Now you're able to see the ServiceNow instance.
Yes.
Okay. And you able to got the same instance, the same page? Is it showing different for you?
Just a minute. App Engine Studio, I am able to see.
Okay, and this menus are as well, right? If you click
Um,
on
I
maybe
need to
all,
check it.
yeah. So it will not, appear by default. By default, it's something like this, and then you have
Mhm.
this all favorite history workstation admin, and then if you click on all, then you can, pin this menu. Okay, I think you have the instance now. Okay, now let us start. Okay, so yesterday we were discussing about the environments. So usually, in a normal scenario, when you subscribe the service now, you will get three instances. One is the production and two is a non-prod instance. One of them, you will call as a development instance and another would be test instance. Okay, so we saw this yesterday. So in the dev instance, you will be developing your things, you will be, so what happens in a real scenario, you will have the requirements from the customers. Okay, so you will be following either of the development methodology. It would be agile or waterfall, but nowadays everyone follow the agile. Okay, so you will have the stories written, which will document the requirement, and then you will have a sprint. Okay, in that sprint you will be working on the story. So all those work will be first done into the development instance. Okay, so once you have developed, let's say you are working on the story, once you are completely developed that requirement, okay, then you will move that configuration, that script from your dev instance to test instance. Okay, on the test instance, once you move it on the test instance, you will be notifying your tester or testing team, saying that the story has been migrated to test instance and is ready for the testing. The testing team will do the testing of your story in the test instance. Okay, once this says it's okay, it's pass. Okay, then you will have a proper change schedule to migrate those changes or migrate those stories which contains the requirement into the production. So normally you will have this two non-production instance and one production instance. In the your organization you may call them by a different name, but the purpose would be the same. One you would be using for the development purpose, and second you would be using for a testing, and finally one is the live production instance. Okay, we will see how you can push the changes from development instance to test and then to the production. Okay, so here is an point, it says clone down. Okay, so what happens? Okay, uh, over a period of time, or the things happen like you develop on something or you work on something, but you know it is found that uh, uh, this is something you worked, but it's not needed now, or it may got delayed, or it may gets on the hold. Okay, or you do couple of POCs or the work, just to check the feasibility, that stays here, that you may decide not to move to the production. So there are the many reason that your non-production instance will over a period of time uh, may not be in sync or as close as to your production instance. Okay, but for the proper testing you need your non-production instance to be as close as your production instance. Okay, so to make sure that your non-production instance are as close as or the exact copy of your production instance, you need to periodically do clone down your non-prod instances from the copy of production instance. So what we will what is that mean clone down? So you will be periodically, maybe quarterly, or in a 3 months, 6 months, or whatever, 2 month, whatever your team or your organization decide as a cloning time period. Okay, or someone wants to clone before, just when you are doing upgrade, you wanted to clone down your non-prod instance to check first the upgrade on your non-prod instance and then to the production. Okay, so it could be differ at the time period or the case when you wanted to clone down the non-prod instance will differ, but it is definite that you need to keep cloning your non-prod instance from the copy of production instance to make sure your production instance and non-production instance are in the sync. So you basically I mean, ServiceNow has this automated way of doing that. So you will be going into your ServiceNow production instance, and then there is a cloning module. You will raise a request for the cloning. You will specify the time and yeah, date and time when you wanted to clone down your instance. Okay, on that particular date and time, your non-prod instance will be cloned down. Okay, So we'll see in our upcoming sections how you can clone down. But that is the reason. These are some of the reasons for which you want to, keep your non-prod instance as close as to the production. Okay, they should be as close as production as possible. Yeah, that's what we saw. Okay, service now releases. Okay, so every around 6 months, service now release a new version. Okay, so those could be I mean uh, over a period of 6 months, 6 to 8 months, service now release a new version which may contains the new features. Okay, new applications they may introduce, or there will be improvement in the UI of the platform. Okay, and between the two releases there will be so let's say ServiceNow has released now Uta release. Okay, and after that uh, the customers who have upgraded to that version found an issue with that recent release, so they may raise a case, they may raise a issue. So ServiceNow will take a look into what that issues and provide the hot fix. Okay, they will not ask the customers or users to wait for the next release, wait for a 6 months. Okay, instead of that, in between two release, if there is issues reported, they will try to fix them as a hot fix, as in when the issues come. And this hot fixes may be bunched together as a patch. Okay, so they may release hot fixes and the patch in between two major releases, which is comes in every 6 to 8 months. Okay, so these are some of the releases of the service now, but it has started with the Aspen, then Berlin, likewise. So they are giving their release name of a city. Okay, so currently they have released their release for a testing purpose.
Yeah, they have released it in Feb 2023.
Yeah. So yeah, so but most of the customers would be either on San Diego or Tokyo.
So,
Okay.
is there much difference in between San Diego and Tokyo?
No, I don't saw any, major difference, but there would be, functionality or module wise different. Overall platform, I don't see a much difference. So so earlier what happens, like just for information purpose, uh, when it was a early stage, ServiceNow was
Mhm.
releasing many features on the ITSM module that we are, uh, touching base as a part of our course, or they would be
Correct.
uh, releasing the features which are related to the overall core configurations, maybe the way we can configure, the way we can uh, uh, do the scripting. But over a period of time they have very matured on the ITSM module, they are very matured on the core platform. Okay,
Mhm.
they have improved their service portal, they have improved a lot on the UI from the user end as well as the fulfiller end. Okay, so now what they are focusing on adding the new applications or new products, and uh, and then adding a features to the other uh, other products apart from like basic ITSM, because that was something they have started and they have improved a lot on them. So I don't think there would be any major difference or many major feature release for the ITSM or the core you know core configuration, which is kind of very noticeable, because I am working on both San Diego and Tokyo. As far as
Mm-hmm.
ITSM and core configuration, I don't see a much different. But yes, there will be a different. It's not like that there won't be any different, but it's not something very intuitive, or it's not something very visible. Okay, whenever we wanted to, see what's coming in or what's in a particular release, what's changed from the previous release, we can always, take a look into their docs.servicenow.com
That's
and
correct. Mm.
able to know, what's they have, released in a particular version. For
Okay.
example, if you go into the Tokyo release, they will explain you, release notes. So let's say, we wanted to see what's changed from San Diego to Tokyo, then you can use this release note
Mm-hmm.
for upgrading from San Diego, and there would be, things that you can go through: summaries, Tokyo release highlights. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So we'll go through this instance and we'll see, the features. Okay, before that, I will go through this slide. Okay. Uh, okay. We'll see, the form and list layout into the service now. Okay. Let's say I wanted to go to an incidents record. Okay. When I type incident, so this is, so first let me, introduce what this. So this panel on the left hand side, what you see is called as, navigator, application navigator. Okay. So by default, you won't see this, but when you click on the all, okay, and then you can, if you want this to be pinned and available to you every time you logged in, you can, just pin it. Okay. So this will be available. So this is called the application navigator, which will, show you the list of applications that are into the service now along with their modules. Okay. So if you go here, incident, if you, and this is, this arrow is, kind of expands the application, or this can, contract the application. Okay. So if you click on the incident, okay, you will see create new, assign to me, open unassigned, resolve all. So these are the modules under the incident application. Okay. This is called the application, and what you see in the, under it are the modules. Okay. So you can, go through this list and find the application what you wanted to find, or you can, this is a filter, navigator filter, where you can, just type in the name of the application or module you wanted to get, and that will appear. Okay. So you, as you type here, uh, that search result you can, gets up in the application navigator. Okay. Let's say when you click on this, let's say we'll click on the new. Okay, it will, open the incident form wherein user can, create an incident record. Okay. So if you look into the incident, so this is basically called a form layout. Okay. This is called as a form layout, wherein you can find, the different fields. Okay. And you can fill in the values of this field and then submit it record. Let's say incident, I will, tell you what the incident is. Okay. In later, but for this now, you can just understand this is a form a form from where user can enter the information. Okay, let's say user wanted to create an incident record. Okay, these are some of the mandatory field which see which you can see the star and red star. These are the mandatory field. So let's say user fill all these fields. Okay, and submit it or save it. Okay, so this is a form layout basically for the user to enter the information. Okay, and you can see the fields on the forms. Okay, you can see some tabs like notes. Okay, this is these tabs. Okay, are called the sections. Okay, which is basically to group similar kind of fields. Let's say here notes. So you can see these fields which are related to capturing the notes like work notes, or you can capture the comments, you can capture the activities, you can capture the watch list, you can watch the instance, you can capture the work note list. Okay, then there is this section related records. It gives you the list of the records which have a relationship with this current record. This is an incident record, and if there is a related parent incident or a related problem created out of this incident. Okay, or there is a change which is created to resolve that incident, or there is a change record due to which this incident has been caused. So herein you can let's say have a related records. So we have created a separate section for that. Similarly, resolution notes. So whenever this incident is resolved, this ticket is resolved, there is some information you need to capture. So there is a separate section created for this. Okay, let's say when it's resolved, who resolved it, resolution note, and then resolution code. Do we wanted to create a knowledge articles after resolving this incident? Okay, so these are called the sections. Okay, so why this section? This is first purpose is to group a related information under one tab. Second is if you keep adding the fields uh, on your form, plain form, your form will go longer. Okay, so instead of that keeping lot of field all displayed in a single plain form, from a design perspective, what you would do, you would create a sections. Okay, first you will have all the important fields that you wanted to show to the users, or common fields in these sections. Maybe you can divide it into the two columns, like you can see this number, this until the configuration item, and another you from the channel to assign to. So these are into two columns. Okay, this is one and this is second, and you can see the short description. These fields are across these two columns or across this form. Okay, so you can whenever there is a field which maybe a multi-line field, then you can have it across the page. Okay, and the other fields you can have divided into the two columns. So based upon how you wanted to format your form layout, you can have this kind of setup. But yes, please do use these sections. We'll see how we can create the sections. But yeah, please do use the sections to group similar information all together. And also this that will help you to reduce maybe a complexity if you have all the fields shown without the tab. Okay, so below that you would see this related list. So these are called the related list. So here you see the child incident, here you see the SLA task. So basically this field, these sections, the fields you see is from the another table again. Whatever the row you will see here will also be from the other table. The difference is, here you can see only, for the problem, you can see only the problem number. Here you can see only the change request, okay, number. Okay, but if you wanted to see, more information of a record from another table, then you would be, using a related list. So let me save this. Okay, this record is already saved. uh, Let me open another record I, where I would see if there is any related list in that. Mm, okay, there is no, but no problem. We can create a one. Okay, so here you can see the related records. Okay, so this incident is related to this. Okay, so you can and you can see the information like, number, short description, caller, all the information of the related record. So here you can see only the number, but here you can see the entire record. So these are called sections, and this is called related list. Okay, you can see this is also a related list, which is showing the SLAs, related to this incident ticket. Okay, and then what you see, these are the buttons. Okay, these are called buttons or the UI actions. Okay, these are called the related links. Okay, so this is a form layout, okay, where you would see the fields, you would see the sections, you would see the related list, and then buttons. Okay. Next, if you click on this, may be assigned to open or any of this link. Let me see if there is no incident. Okay. All. So this is the list layout. Okay, this is called the list layout. In the form layout, you would you would be seeing only one record, but you will be seeing the more options like, related list, sections, but UI actions or buttons. Okay, and this is a list layout where you would see a very limited fields on a record, but you able to see, multiple records in a single view. Okay, so this is called a list layout. Okay, in upcoming session we will see, how you can configure the form layout. Okay, what fields you how you can add the fields to the form layout, how you can remove the fields from the form layout, how you can, arrange this fields. We can change the order. That's we will see in, in a while. Also, you may require in your organization to modify the list layout as well. Okay, maybe, add more, fields on the list layout, remove the fields from the list layout, or, rearrange them. Okay, so this is called a list layout where you will be able to see multiple records from a table. Okay. Okay, now getting back here, so we'll see all these configurations, how you can configure both the list layout and all form layout. Okay, so before that, we'll just understand this concept. Okay, records. Okay, so these are called the records. Okay, which one is called as a record? So record represent a single entity. Once you open this, it represent a single entity. It represent this particular incident and all
Incident,
the
yeah.
information about this incident, like, who has opened this incident, who is, working on this incident, what's this detail, everything. So it represents a single entity, a single incident. This is a record. Okay, and each record has a unique key. Okay, so each record, just like, we are identified by our names. Okay, so here the this incidents records are, identified by the number. Okay, but this is identifier just for the user purpose. Okay, user purpose or the non-service now admin teams. Okay, when they work on the incident, they will identify this incident by this number. Okay, but for a developer, okay, whenever you would be uh, doing any scripting, okay, and to identify a record with the uniqueness, what you will use is the sys id. Okay, so each record in the service now has a unique sys id. Okay, if you see this url, its sys id is equal to this. Okay, so it's a 32
Okay.
characters combination of the numbers and the letters. Okay, which uniquely
Mhm.
identify a records. For example, if you copy this sys id and go to the incident records and try to search, sys id is equal to this, sys id is this, you will find a record. So this is a record with this sys id. Okay,
Okay.
so likewise, each record, whatever it may be, an incidents record, you will see the problem records, user record, group record. Every record in the service now will have a unique sys id. You will not find any two records with the same sys id. These are automatically generated by the system. Okay, you cannot manipulate them. It's not editable. So system will automatically, as the records created, system will create a new unique sys id for a record. Okay, so if you
Sir, I have a
uh-huh,
question.
sure.
Yeah. Actually, I want to know that this tool is already developed, right? So
Uh-huh,
we can use this tool. We are using this tool in an administration part to
uh-huh,
generate a ticket and to log the incidents, right?
uh-huh.
But as a developer,
Uh-huh.
on which
Yeah,
part we are working in
yes,
this
yes.
tool to develop
Yes,
a new features or like
sure.
that.
Actually, good question. Okay, so what happens when you get a service now? Okay, you will get
Okay.
lot of inbuilt applications out of the box. Like you will get ITSM. If you wanted to go for a HR, you will get HR. Okay, so based upon organization, your organization, they will subscribe the service now products. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
nothing you need to develop from the scratch. Okay,
Okay.
but then what you need
Mm-hmm.
to do? Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
what happens, each organizations will have their own set of processes. Okay, so your organization will have a different process, not completely different, but a significantly, or at least to some extent, your organization will be following a different process and my organization will be following a different process, and every organization will have something in unique. There you won't be find every organization will follow the exact same process. Okay,
Okay.
so as a developer, what or an administrator, what works comes to you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
ServiceNow will provide this module out of the box, very standard or in a generic fashion. Okay,
Okay.
so you as a developer or you as an administrator, the works comes to
Mm-hmm.
you is to modify the existing uh, you know out of the box applications. Okay, so it might be possible that, okay, your organization is not using this service. Okay, they don't want to
Okay.
use this, so they wanted to remove this. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
or just let me open some. Yeah, okay, so it's not likely you have only this category in your organizations. Okay, your organization may have a different category of an incident. Okay,
Okay.
so this category will change based upon your organization need. Okay,
Okay. So we don't have a database the part in the tool itself. So we are doing
yeah,
all
this,
the records filling and all from the scripting only, right?
yes, yes. Okay,
Okay.
and let's say Okay, so your organization wanted just not show the caller. They wanted to know who is the manager of this caller. Okay, so they wanted to have, again here a field,
Add
saying,
one field. Okay.
yeah, add
Hmm.
one field which shows, the manager of the caller. Whenever you change this caller, that manager will be automatically populated based upon what you select on the caller. Okay, so
Okay,
likewise,
means the development inside the tool only we have to do, right?
yes, inside the
Whatever the
tool.
changes will be there, it will be inside the tool only as per the
Yes,
organization procedure.
need, yes. So
Okay.
that's the major work comes in. Okay, because
Okay.
and this is just of, very small examples, but your
Hmm.
organization may have, different, I mean, different.
Yeah, they may can told me to create a new page and have a lot of things over there.
Yes,
But
yes,
if I am a ServiceNow developer, then I will be having code for this page also, right? So I can
yes, you
take up
will.
some of the things from this if I am
Yes,
not
yes, yes,
really
yes, yes,
good with the code.
yes. So there will be, a lot of existing configurations. Okay, and when
Hmm.
it's something related to what is already exists, then you can, easily search the existing script configurations, and then, just take a reference from it, and you develop something new. Okay,
New. Okay.
just like,
Yeah, right. I got
yeah,
that.
yes, your
So we are
organization
not
will have a
using
different.
any.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead,
Continue.
go ahead.
So we are not using any front-end language or something in back-end or something like database here. So we are only using one language. It is a scripting one, and we are developing a complete tool on basis of that only, right?
Yes. So everything, there we will going to all those components which which needed for you to develop
Okay.
into service now. But everything is into the service now. You don't need to go out of the service now to develop something into the service now. So everything, every options will be available. For example, you wanted to create a new button. Then there is an option.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's say you want when this change. You wanted to create a new field, there is an option. When you
Mhm.
wanted to, this color is changing, you wanted to populate the, its manager, then there is an option. So for every, configuration or every requirement, almost every requirement, you have and one or other ways to achieve that into the service now itself. Okay,
Okay.
so it's
Yeah.
about, and again, so your organization may want, this to be integrated with the other system. Okay, so let's say there is a team which is using a Jira, or let's say we have the issues not only reported from the service now, but some other team in your organization, or some of your customer vendors using another system. Okay,
Okay.
so you want, whenever, because this is a tool where the teams will be working on the issue. But if there is different intake, for an issue to happen, let's say
Mhm.
someone in the teams, some team will be using, let's say, Jira to report an issue. Okay,
Correct.
and you
Mhm.
want, whenever issue is reported into the Jira, you want, this also to be reported into the service now. Okay, so you need to integrate service now with Jira. So that's not comes
Okay.
out
So
of
we
box.
can use
So
both the applications in one time.
we can integrate.
Okay. Okay. Mhm.
Okay, so that doesn't comes out of the box. Then, as a developer or administrator, your work will be to integrate those systems. Okay. Again,
So I was under impression like
uh-huh,
means many of the organizations are using Jira right now.
uh-huh.
So they will be in future they will be using a service now instead of Jira. So I was under
Yes.
impression like this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, this could be the case. Okay, this could be
Okay.
the case.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's based upon the organizations. Okay, so organization may stop completely using the Jira and move to the service now, or your
Mhm.
organization may wanted to keep both the, both the applications, and just have an integration between them. Okay, so what
Okay.
happens,
Mm-hmm.
let's say ServiceNow is more from a management perspective, or more from the managing of the issues, or managing
Right.
of the incident problem change. Okay, ITSM process. Jira has a also many part into itself. Like one part of it is, you can use the Jira as a service desk. You can create a module just like incident or something. Okay,
Correct.
but it's more, or more important part of the Jira is the project management, where you will actually do the development and track the development. Like you will be
Correct.
having
Mm.
issues, defects tracking, like a
Bugs
defect
and
tracking.
like.
Yeah, bugs. And yeah, so your organization may decide, for issue management, use the service now, but for development purpose, use the Jira. So it can be happen,
Okay.
both tool can exist in the organization, or either one of the tool can exist in the organization, or your
Okay.
organization decide both and have the integration between them. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so you will be making the changes to the out of the box configurations. You will be having integrations, or sometime what happens, you get the set of the applications, but your organization has a unique requirement, and they wanted to develop a completely new application. Okay,
Okay.
so what
Mm-hmm.
happens? Let's say, though the service now has the finance module, but your organization don't want to go into that subscription and pay extra for that, because your organization's need is very small in terms of, let's say, finance module. So what you can do, instead of purchasing the service now's finance module, which may be more more have more features, but that are not something needed for your organization need only some part of that, and that you can develop in house. So you can create your own application within the service now for your unique
Mm-hmm.
need of organizations. So service now will not restrict you to create a new applications. So you can create your own applications, own tables into the service now. So that
Okay.
development you will be also doing as a part of service now developer or administrator. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Okay, so coming back to the topic, yeah. So records. So these are the records. As I said, each records as the unique identifier, and that is the sysid. So from the URL itself, you can see the sysid, or if you wanted to get the sysid, you have an option. You will right click on this, and here in the bottom you will see copy sysid. Okay, once you click on this, and maybe open a notepad, or open any doc and paste, you will get the sysid. Okay, you can get the sysid from the list view as well. Just like you will right click and then click on the copy sysid, and the sysid will be copied, and you can see that no two records will have the same sysid. It's a 32 characters, 32 characters
Mm-hmm.
long, with the combination of numbers and letters. Okay,
There
and
is no
it's a
special format for this ID, right?
no, this is the only format, which is
Random thing.
random number,
Okay.
and this is something you will not, touch, or you will not. It's not in your control. System, automatically creates this SID.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
so this is like a table. Okay, this is like a table in the backend also. It's stored as a table. Okay, this is like a table. These are like the columns which we call as a field. Okay, these are the records in that table. Okay, okay, so these are the columns. Okay, we can call it as a field. These are the rows, complete row, which represent a one record, and these are called the record. Rows are called the records. Okay, and internally these are the table into the ServiceNow database. Each record in this table will be identified by a unique list and form. So as we just take a look into the form layout and the list layout. Okay, so in the form layout, what you would see, You would see one record per page. You would see more fields in the form. You will see, related records. Okay. And then more controls, like you would see the buttons, related links on the form layout. As compared to the list layout, what you have on the list layout, you will be, let me share it quicker. Okay, on the list layout, you would see list of the records. You will see multiple records per page, and then you will see only, limited number of fields on a record. And then you have, still you have couple of options, like, you can filter the this records, list of the records. You can sort the records. You have an option to select the multiple records and perform the operation on the multiple records. You can do a cell edit on those, records, and you can do the cell edit on the multiple records. So we'll see what this filter means, what this multi select and cell means. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is a, let me again, this is a form layout. As I said, you can see more information about the records. You have the sections, you have the related list, you have this buttons, you have this, related links. Okay. On the list layout, you have multiple rows, but with the limited fields display. Okay. And here you wanted to filter the records. We'll go through this, the condition builder later, but for now, I will just show you. You have an option to filter the records. So currently, you see, around 82 records and 50 records per page. Okay. And you are seeing here, all type of incident. Okay. Let's say you don't want to see all the incident, but you are interested only in the incident with, which are open. Okay, which are not closed and are in the new state. Okay, you don't want it to look into, other state incident. You just wanted to see what are the incidents which are, in the new state. Okay, so what you can do here, you can, filter it. You will say the state is, is not, let's say, is not cancel, close, or resolved. And what you will say, maybe let's say you are the member of the service desk and you want only to see the tickets which are assigned to your group. Service desk. Okay, so you can, filter the records. Okay, based upon your conditions. Okay. And again, let's say, what you wanted to get these records in order in which they are created. So what you can do, you can, this is options available on all fields. Okay. So you can right click, and there is a sort option. You can sort it. A to Z means, in ascending order. Sort Z to A means descending order. So you want to see, it in a descending order, like in the records which open recently should be on the top. So you can use this option. Okay, so you will see this is the record, open after that. This record is open. Okay, so you can, use this sorting on, any column. Okay.
Mhm.
And multi-select. Okay, so on the list layout, you have an option, for selecting multiple records. Okay, so here if you click this, checkbox, you can, select all these records. Okay, so and then do the cell edit. For example, what you want, let's say these records are assigned to your team. Okay, this service desk. Just update the filter. It's not okay. So let's say these are the tickets. Okay, assigned to the service desk. Even, if you go these columns one by one, this records one by one, you have an option to select the particular, you know, rows as well. If you wanted to select all these rows, then you can just click here. Okay, now let's say a scenario. Okay, you see as a service desk group member, these are the incident assigned to your team, and then you find that, oh, these are all, not related to me. Something not service desk should be working. It's something the other team should take care. So what you can do, you can just select all these records and then double click, and let's say this is, let's say incident management team. It should be assigned to incident management team. You will just select the incident management group, and then you have this option. Cross is to cancel, and this green tick is to save. So you will save this record. So at a time, okay, okay. So you
Hello.
would be, yeah,
Yeah, can you tell this once again?
yeah,
How to change? Yeah.
yeah. Just a moment. So you can select this, record. So what you need to do, just a moment. Okay, you need to press the control button on your laptop. Okay, mouse over on one of the field, press the control, and then you can just click on the fields which you wanted to select. Once you are done with the selection, you can release your control button. Okay, and then double click on any of the field. Okay, and then let's say, uh, and then, let's say select the option. Okay, when you select it,
Okay.
it you can able to update it.
Mhm.
Okay, now you can
Okay.
see this has been updated.
Mhm.
Okay, so yes, you can update, multiple records from a list layout versus, on the form layout you will be updating only a single record. So you have an options, edit multiple records in the list layout. Okay, okay. Mm, filters and search. Okay, so you have, different options in the service now to search for a record. Okay, you can search it, you can use this global search. We'll see in a while. Okay, to search for a particular record, you can use this, filter condition to search for a record, or you can use, these options to search on a particular table. Okay, so there are many options for you to search for a record. So let's see them into a service now. Along with, these options, what you can use this, wildcard, characters to, refine your search. So we'll take a look into them as well. But before that, we'll see what are the options available for you to search. Okay, whenever, you wanted to search, let's say, take a scenario. Uh, uh, let's say, there is a service desk team. Okay, who got incident from the user. Okay, and then service desk team analyzed. Okay, uh, and says, this is something, an incident that you or your team to be, taking care, or to be now, taken a look into it. Okay, so they will give you an number, incident number. Okay, let's say, this is, they will, ping you, or they will provide you, this is an incident number, you need to take a look. Okay, so what you can do, you can, open that instance, open your ServiceNow instance, and maybe, no matter from on which screen you are, you can, use this global search. You can just paste the incident number, and that incident will open. Okay, so this is a global search. You can, search for into, any table, It could be a user, it could be a group, it could be an incident, it could be a problem table, it could be a knowledge, it could be a service catalog. So it will search into your platform, entire platform. Okay, let's say if you wanted to get an information about the able tutor or Beth. Okay, so it give you a result. It says, there are this incident, 16 incident, okay, where it found, this Beth is as a keyword. There are this change request, 16 change requests. There is, this Beth is found. Maybe, it could be in the description somewhere. Okay, or there is this, people. Under the people, they have found this record. And let's say this is something we were looking for. Then you can, open that record and look into the user profile. Okay, so it's a global search. You can search across the platform using this global search. Okay, and then you have this table search. Okay, so unlike the global search which searches across the platform, this table search, and it will change. Okay, these fields also will change. So based upon on which table you are, or on which application you are. So currently you see here incident, and you would be able to see the fields from the incident table. If you go here on the problem records or problem management module, you will see here problem, and you will see the fields from the problem management only. Okay, so global search is search across the platform, and then this is a table search. You can search uh, on a particular module, I mean application, or the table. Here let's say in my problem, here let's say incident. Okay, here uh, by default, or we have an option to search on these fields. Okay, so for example, you wanted to search an incident with a short description. Okay, starting with test. So you will short description and then type test. Then you will find all the incidents which contain the test in the short description. Okay, or you wanted to uh, okay, or you wanted to search for an incident, let's say with this number. So you have the number selected and then the value. So it will search for this particular incident with the number matching. Okay, so you can search based upon available fields. So this is a table search, and then you have this condition builder. This is very powerful one. Okay, so in the condition builder you have these three options. You can use this is called so here you will get list of the records, sorry, list of the fields on which you can query, and based upon the field you select, these are the operations, and then these are the value. So we will be discussing this condition builder in our tomorrow session. Okay, before that, if you have any question, please do let me know. Just we'll call off today's session here. Okay, if no question, then thank you for your time. We'll meet tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.